hybrid style of training, which is basically combining endurance training and strength training at the same time. Because at the end of the day, if you have the workhorses, which are your muscles, and then you don't have an engine to drive those workhorses, you're going to be a bit
Such a weird analogy, man.
It is.
Cardio actually can help you build muscle. It has been proven. Look at Ross Edgley.
It's a unit.
Look at Ross Edgley. Look at Nick Bare. Fergus Crawley.
Look at Train with Joan.
Fergus
Train with
Crawley.
Joan, 77-year-old woman.
If you want to look beefy, muscular, lean, toned, defined, and be fit, you can do all of it, and it doesn't even take that long. Welcome back to the Perform Well podcast. This is the podcast for you if you're looking for performance and wellness optimization so that you can not only smash your career, but also have a better life, better relationships, and better health. We believe that performance and wellness are yin and yang and work together. So listen in as we dive into topics that are going to help you optimize your life for the better. Welcome back to another episode of Perform Well.
Still getting used to that, aren't you?
I know, it sounds so weird to you know what, but I'll tell you what, Dan.
What do I know?
Today's topic is about the perfect training routine for improved health and wellness. What is it that is going to help you the most with your health and wellness, guys, training-wise?
Well, me and Nick have been implementing a style over the last few weeks, and you don't have to integrate this, but we do find it has such an overarching benefit on everyone's lives, and that's a hybrid style of training, which is basically combining endurance training and strength training at the same time. Because at the end of the day, if you have the engine, if you have the workhorses, which are your muscles, and then you don't have an engine to drive those workhorses, you're going to be a bit
Such a weird analogy, man.
It is.
Horses have engines now.
Horses have engines, everyone.
Let's just say you're a Ferrari and you've got a bloody Toyota Hyundai engine, mate. You know, you ain't going to be driving that chassis around, are you? You're going to be, revving your wheels, looking really cool, and then you don't go anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Uber's shift quite well. They've got their Priuses.
Then you're going to break down. You have to go to the MOT, and they're going to tell you, "Oh no, this is broken." You get to pay lots of money in the long term, guys.
And that lots of money would be going to a physio or a doctor.
Send it to us instead. We'll help you out. We'll save you a lot of money later. Hybrid training is what we're talking about, and I actually am of the belief that everyone should be doing hybrid training. I don't mean that hybrid training is a certain method that, say, everyone has to do 100%, if that makes sense. I don't want to say it now. What I mean by hybrid training is that we are combining endurance and strength, but it does not mean that all your training has to be 100% endurance, 100% strength. It can be a ratio of 90 to 10, for example. But without endurance, for even powerlifters, for example, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle later in life. They're going to struggle with walking upstairs, getting out of breath. That can be instantly, accomplished or reversed by just simply doing a little bit of cardio. So simple.
I want to inject a point here, because I think the thing is, when you think hybrid training, we're thinking you're doing heavy lifting of weights and then massive long runs. That is not hybrid training. Joan, if you're watching this, who is a random lady I've just made up, if you're going to your Pilates class and then doing a little bit of a HIIT circuit, that is what we call hybrid training. So hybrid training isn't this overarching powerlifting session going into a massive run. It is a combination of just improving your cardiovascular fitness and improving your lean muscle mass. So in time, you drop more weight and then you don't have the health issues in later life, because one of the biggest overarching benefits you can look at is reducing your body fat percentage, because that's one of the things we always look at.
And Tony, you made up bodybuilding meathead, thinking that all you got to do is just weightlift 4 times a week, 5 times a week, 6 times a week, doing a bro split, thinking that's enough. You wait until your dick doesn't get hard anymore and you feel like shit. Get a little bit of cardio in you, you'll be fine. You'll literally fix and reverse a lot of those issues, mate. You can still bodybuild. And I'm telling you now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but adding a little bit of cardio, I've actually found better gains in the gym.
No, same.
Yeah, I feel small right now, but that's for different reasons. But haven't trained as much the last 2 weeks because of various stuff we've been doing. But that being said, cardio actually can help you build muscle. It has been proven. Look at Ross Edgley.
It's a unit.
Look at Ross Edgley. Look at Nick Bare. Look at who's that other guy? What's his name? Fergus Crawley.
Look at Train with Joan.
Fergus
Train with Joan, 77-year-old woman. Are you seen her? She's a unit.
Who?
She's an old woman.
Is this the Joan you were talking about?
Yeah. No, she's got like 2.3 million followers on Instagram. If you Train with Joan, I think her name is. No, it's not the actual same Joan. I was using an example.
So if you want to look beefy, muscular, lean, toned, defined, and be fit, you can do all of it, and it doesn't even take that long.
No. No, not at all. And now we want to go into this, okay? So when we're talking about strength training and we're talking about the basis of strength training, it's one of the most important factors, I think, to get in everyday life these days. That doesn't have to be in a gym. Can I make that clear? I have got a lovely 61-year-old lady at the minute who is currently doing yoga and she's doing weights at home. You don't have to be in the gym. She's just got small dumbbells. She's at home. My mum, 61, same thing again. She's at home. She's training. She's keeping fit. And she's coming and doing full moving days with me because she's done a bit of strength training.
And calisthenics.
Our calisthenics.
You can go to the park. You can train on a tree branch, mate. You can train on the floor at your house. You can do it anywhere in the world.
We actually met a gentleman at the networking event who is an avid tree climber. He's 71 years old with kidney disease and he's climbing up these giant ass trees. Anyway, I digress.
I don't know why the kidney disease got thrown in there.
I don't know, but it's an important factor. But we're talking about strength training. Now, what can strength training do? Why do we do strength training? Why are people sitting there thinking, oh, I should get down the gym, I should lift some weights? Like, why should people feel they should do strength training?
So everyone should do strength training because it has so many important benefits. One is metabolic improvement. Okay, more muscle mass means you burn more calories, which means you can eat more food. Well done. Hormonal impacts. We're looking at testosterone, growth hormone. Even the ladies, you need some testosterone in your body as well. Okay, you need that hormone there. So in training can improve your hormones and balance them as well. Bone mineral density, so that you got less risk of osteoporosis as you get older. Your bones are stronger, and confidence and even mentality. All right. Confidence, guys. It makes you more confident when you look better, when you look the part. You fill out t-shirts differently. You don't have that bulge so much. You that bulge. You know what I mean? You have better shape in your t-shirts, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, Tony,
confidence.
watch the bulge.
Watch the Tony, man.
Tony,
if you've got problems with your bulge, mate, don't worry. We'll help you out.
Now, the thing is as well, I'm going to go into the endurance training part because this is something I have factored in so much recently in terms of my own training because I'm training for a triathlon, if you didn't know. And I was a Tony. I used to just go in, do weights, try and get wham, get strong and look muscular. But I could not run 100 yards without getting out of breath. And that's not how we need to be in life. A lot of people on here have got kids, grandchildren, that kind of stuff that they want to spend time with. Now, when you're talking about endurance training, why do we do it? What's the important factors? Now, heart and cardiovascular health, one of the biggest parameters and one of the biggest killers in the world at the minute. I think in America, the third highest disease that people are killed off by is heart disease, and that's generally from people being overweight and obese and not looking after their health. So make sure to improve your cardiovascular endurance. That means going for a 20-minute walk every day, and that does not take a lot of time out your day to do it. Even say to your boss, hold on Gary, I'm going out for a walk, I'll see you in a bizzle. Now after that, improving lung capacity. We talk about aerobic capacity, we talk about what the lungs can do. The lungs are phenomenal pieces of kit, and if you utilize them correctly, you're less likely to get out of breath later down the line. You can talk as quick as I do, and also you can go enjoy your life more and not get out of breath up the stairs, which I think is a bit poor, if I'm totally honest. We're looking at mental resilience as well. Whenever you're doing endurance training, it's normally for a longer period of time, but as I said, you can do it in HIIT circuits as well. It's to try and push your body, get out of your comfort zone, people. Too many people are staying in the same position all the time throughout their life, and nobody's taken that extra step forward to elevate their position to make themselves feel better. The last thing I want to say is fat oxidation. Now, apologies for interrupting the podcast. We know you're getting fully engrossed into this episode, and we really appreciate you stopping on the video on YouTube or on Spotify if you found us through one of the search pages. Make sure to leave a review and a subscription if you haven't already. But we just wanted to interject a point here that me and Nick have 15 years of coaching experience between us, and it's only getting better as we've got better guests on the podcast. The only way we can do that, though, is with the growth of our program that we've just released. We've got a 12-month Perform Well program, which has just dropped, and we'd love you guys to get involved in it. If you want to learn more details, make sure to head to the description, as we've got our website in there, which can give you a full overlay of the program. We're looking to help career-driven professionals, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and anyone dominate their life by improving their lifestyle. Me and Nick like to claim ourselves as experts in this area, and if you want to check out some of our other transformations, I'm sure you do. We've got some amazing people who have performed so well off the back of this program. Have a cracking day, and we really appreciate your time. Let's get back to the podcast. Very important point here. Fat loss, fat oxidation / fat burning, two different things. Fat loss is like we're talking of weight loss. It's the overarching, so it's the overall amount of fat that you lose. You've got fat oxidation and fat storage. If your fat oxidation is higher than fat storage, you are burning fat. You are then losing fat over the period of time, okay? This cardiovascular endurance does improve fat oxidation because what it does, it improves your basal metabolic rate because your heart can work more efficiently.
And the great thing about fat oxidation as well is that, like, let's say, for example, you're doing slow intensity cardio. All right, this can be walking. This can be doing a very nice jog. You can talk to your friend for a long period of time. All right, your body's going to be utilizing fat as the primary fuel source. Then obviously it does not mean that you're going to burn fat if you're eating a lot of shit. Okay. That being said, it will not impact your muscle mass as much. So if you're doing something slow intensity throughout the day, say you're going for 10,000 steps a day, you're going to predominantly burn fat as a fuel source. You're not going to have too much breakdown of the muscle tissue. So we actually recommend that hybrid training isn't necessarily always high intensity intervals or cardio. It can be just getting your steps in throughout the day. And that's already preached by a lot of people, but no one even does it. No one thinks about it as an endurance training form of methodology. It actually is. It improves your endurance and your resilience and makes you feel better. Walking is one of the best things you can do. Mobility is our last one. Now, mobility, once again, these are all incorporated in a lot of people's training programs anyway. They just don't realize it. But mobility is so important for reducing aches and pains, for improving your movement so that you can actually move more throughout the day. And it is an essential part of hybrid style training. All right, so that means that you're stretching all the time, every single day. Doesn't have to be long. We've actually got a routine that we follow, isn't it?
We do have a routine that we follow. I've got a personal one that I do myself, but we've also got the best daily stretching routine in our Perform Well program. So you can get on there. One thing I did want to interject in there, and I'm going to have to flick my feet up for this.
Yeah.
These are what we call Vivo Barefoots. Now the camera will probably zoom in at this point in time. These are Vivo Barefoots, and these are things that I invested in. Invest in equipment for your mobility, much like you would for your running, much like you would for your strength training. Because investing in things for mobility, these Vivo Barefoots help splay out my feet. And when I'm not doing mobility, it just helps me have more points of contact with the floor. If you buy equipment that's expensive for you to do something, you're more likely to use it. Buy yourself an expensive roll mat. Subscribe to Nike Plus Mobility or something like that. I don't mind.
Stop investing in OnlyFans.
Stop investing in OnlyFans. This is going back to Tony, but yes, you've got to make sure investing money into different areas.
Don't neglect Joan, mate. I'm sure she.
Sorry, Joan.
I'm sure she likes OnlyFans.
If there's anyone called Joan who comments in this podcast, I will give you a month's free coaching. There you go. You've heard it here first.
So 3 days a week, it is possible. Now, obviously, both me and Dan, we train more than 3 days a week. But consider our occupation. We are in the fitness industry. We're leading in this field, and so we enjoy working out 6 days a week. Right, 5-6 days.
We set the bar very high as well, because that's our expectations of ourselves.
Yeah. So don't confuse us with like what you should do, because a lot of you should only train three days a week. If I was an entrepreneur building a business and I had to be on the road all the time, I would look at 3 days a week. I'll make it super simple. Now, out of those 3 days, how do you recommend we would get in strength, endurance, and mobility with only 3 days per week and see progress?
Well, this is the important thing. If we're training 3 days a week, and that's not encompassing if you're going out for walks every single day, you could do it in a full body measure, and you could even train twice in the same day. You wouldn't even need to do it, over the spread. So I'd probably say 2 full bodies a week and then 1 endurance. Yeah. Or you could structure it however you want. If you want to prioritize your endurance, do 1 full body.
Yeah.
If you're training the muscle groups, you're going to be maintaining some sort of basis. Now, there was an argument actually in a study that was brought up that basically saying that when you're running, you can still build muscle running, which is true. Yeah. You can build small amounts of muscle, but you would need to be running with like a weighted pack or something on it to actually exhume a lot of exertion.
If you're a beast, then mate, you've got that weighted pack. Use it.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Have you seen obese people have thick legs? Mm-hmm. Like when they lose the fat, they normally have thick legs.
Calves, isn't it? The calves are fucking wham.
Yeah, because they've built muscle to deal with that weight. Do you know what I mean? Wild, man. But just to further your point there, 3 full body workouts per week is perfect. Okay, your cardio, if you really for some reason can't get the time in for the cardio, get your steps in every day. That is going to be a form of cardio for you. It might not seem like it, but it is. Get the steps in. 10,000 a day takes about 2.5 hours. You can put, mix that with podcasts, listening to podcasts such as this one. You can listen to music. You can call people. You can just enjoy nature, mate. You use the time. Get on your feet, walk around, and then stretch. Takes 5 minutes a day. Do it in the morning. Do it in the evening. Just get it done. Once you get into a routine, you do it for 2 to 3 days in a row. It becomes easy. Do you know when you say to someone, get this much protein every single day? They're like, I don't know how. As soon as they do it, they're like, oh, that was quite easy.
Stretching is really easy. Stretching, you set yourself a routine that works into your life, so always factor that in. Get a routine that works in with your life. For example, recently I've picked up my own little swimming strategy, which works for me. Not necessarily what social media say, but that's where people like myself and Nick will come in with a bit of clarity and say, you know what, it's like sitting down and going to the opticians and them giving you the right pair of glasses. We're essentially giving people the right program, the right meal plan, the right mindset, and the right habits that are going to help them individually progress. Not necessarily the generalistic advice that you're going to get from a TikTok video or an Instagram video. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get training programs for free on YouTube, and then you try and apply it yourself. You lose motivation. You do it for like 2 days. That's not what you should be doing, guys. You should be following something that's individual to you. And you don't know that until you've had someone actually help you on an individual level. Okay?
Make the investment. That's the important one we have. Now, that was a fantastic podcast. And as I always say at these podcasts, thank you so much for watching the podcast. The Perform Well podcast is hopefully going to skyrocket this year. We're going to be aiming for 50 episodes very soon as well, which is amazing considering we started on Nick's sofa. So we thank you guys. You've been amazing. Make sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure to leave us a like if you're on YouTube. And make sure to drop us a comment to tell us your thoughts about the podcast. And if you've got anything to interject on anything that we've said, make sure if you're over on Spotify to follow us and give us 5 stars. We really appreciate all your reviews. You're an amazing bunch of people and we look forward to growing this channel so much more. And we will catch you guys later.
Ciao.